are back again because it is Friday at 8 p. Not Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. I need to scroll up. Okay. So we've had an update already. I mean, we get an update on every Thursday, which is kind of why we've got a got a little news for you. So what it is that not charging? Does that literally only charge with the one that came with? Ugh. So we've got we got a new update, which means the game mode rotation is going to be changed again. I mean, that isn't going to be. It already has been. What is this even connected to? So we've got, with this game change, or game mode change, we have the removal of the standoff 24/7 map. I mean, some of us are happy about it, because, I mean, although it's really nice to get back to an older game mode for a while. Or not an older game mode, an older map. It was all I've played. All I played for a solid, like, week and a half. Not week and a half. Just however long it was out. It was all that I played. I am going to get up quick and get my headphones so I can double check this on my phone. I'll bring it back. Alright, sorry about all of that. As I was saying, it was all I played for like a week and a half. It was a nice throwback to the past. Nice throwback to the past. I liked it. And I haven't played Call of Duty in a while. Based solely on the fact that, like, I was just kind of getting burned out on Warzone, and I gotta go to YouTube for it. I just kind of I got burned out on Warzone just because it was like never. I don't know. I never really had players like a team that I could like count on, and I don't really like pubs. So I either play solos or I just don't. And then as for you know, Cold War and multiplayer, I just kind of like, I'm not a fan of a good chunk of the maps that are in it, if you guys could probably tell, but where was it? Oh, yeah. So I got burned out on Warzone, and I got burned out on multiplayer just because, like, I didn't like the maps. And then we got Nuketown 24/7, which stayed for God knows how long. I mean, by how long, if you look, it's actually, wait, what? Oh yeah, it's still there. Because there's only been about a week since this game is, since Nuketown was announced that it hasn't been, and people were mad about it. Ooh, we got a tier sale, huh? Let's see if it'll cost me less than $100 now. We are going to actually talk about this menu in a little bit. Okay, so 93, 100. I got my 65 tiers, which means 6,500 COD points. That's like what, 65, 70 bucks? Ugh. Where are my notes? I hit the wrong button. So with the removal of standoff 24/7, I mean, I still want to play, but this seems weird to me. I'm not really into tournaments, even though it's just starting. It's just about to start, because you gotta wait for it to start. This is new, actually. Oh, Die Hardpoint and Rambo's gun game. That's not newish. Fire Team Elimination just didn't seem, you know... Nuketown's just getting really old. I didn't really like 10v10, because it was just kind of a cluster for me. And I never like party games. So if I want to play, I just... my choices are pretty much, you know, Nuketown 24/7, which is kind of meh at this point. Or just to not. Because we don't have that standoff 24/7 anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, I played. Because we went from 3 to 43 in like 2 weeks. Just saying. But I don't know, it just hasn't been like, I just haven't been feeling motivated to play since they got rid of that playlist. And it's only been a couple days since they've done it, but oof. Why does my leg hurt? Okay. What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. But you know, now what you, what are you trying to say? So we got that removed, and I'm not really a fan of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, too much of a good thing is completely possible with these maps. I mean, Nuketown, I think it's a good map. Ooh, sorry. It's a small map. It could be a perfect 3v3 map, I'm just saying, because it's tiny. We've actually played free-for-all with like 3 people on it, and it was pretty okay. You didn't go too long without seeing somebody. But I don't know. I just wish they would have kept it for another week. But maybe that's just me. Let me know on your thoughts in the chat, or in the comments, or wherever you're at. You know. You know, we've got some cheating in Warzone, and we're gonna talk about it just a little bit. By just a little bit, I mean, there was an article, I can't remember, I want to say it was Game Rant, that came out as to saying why Warzone will never be completely free of cheaters. And the reason actually makes sense. And once I say it, you're going to be like, well, yeah, that makes sense. We talked about it before here. And you're right. The main reason why they claim that Warzone will never be completely cheater-free is because it's free to play. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that it's free to play, and I hope it doesn't go to paid. Just because of the fact that it kind of like evolves with every Call of Duty game. But if it's not free to play, it's gonna be like, if it's packaged with a game, you're gonna have to pay $60 to play Warzone, but you also get Call of Duty. You're gonna pay $60 to get this Call of Duty game, but you can also play Warzone. And that's something that, like, I just don't really support it, just because of the fact that so Warzone's kind of an it seems like it could be the introduction to Call of Duty, if you will. Now, for those that haven't played a Call of Duty game, the fact that you can, like, you could give Warzone a try. Test out the guns, test out the mechanics, see the graphics, see the gameplay, get a little bit of experience with it. for free. I mean, if you try Warzone and you like it, granted the multiplayer and story in the base games is a lot different than Warzone, but it's kind of like how it is, how like the main game is. Like, we're in multiplayer, but we're not just doing 6v6. We're not just doing gunfight tournaments. It's like Warzone can kind of be like, here's your taste, and this is the rest of that sandwich. I mean, that's why I just don't... I don't think Warzone being free to play is a bad thing. I believe it's actually a very good thing. But there needs to be some sort of like anti-cheat. There needs to be some sort of anti-cheat so that they can like weed out the cheaters, or like have something to prevent them from being, you know, cheaters in a game. If you just ban an account, just make a new one. Like, they have two-factor. Why not make it so that once like a phone number or an email is linked to an account, you can't make another one. Or, you know, computers have individual IP addresses. I mean, you can kind of get around this with a VPN, but if you're changing your IP every 4 seconds, that's probably going to be something you notice. Surprisingly enough, I've been hearing... I haven't actually heard about, like, cheating in Warzone recently. I mean, I've heard about hacking with two things. Two things is, that, what am I trying to say? The two things are, you know, what we just saying, why they always have cheaters, and hackers are now making custom skins. I know we all want custom skins. I mean, you can go to the shop and you can buy, like, this skin, or, like, let's just go to the store quick. Not Road Rage. Where's the one that I liked? Scrap. That one. If it decides to load. Load. That's pretty cool. I can buy that and I can use that. But if I could, like, change the color scheme, like, maybe the helmet's red, or, like, black accents, like, if it's just darker colored, or, like, white, all white. You know, I would like that. And granted, I actually kind of want to buy this now. I mean, it's got a functional kill tracker watch. And it's only $20. But how do I want to word this? I'm just not... There's some things, like, hackers are making their own skins, and we all want that, and I wish Activision would give us that. But at the same time, there's ups and downs to it. I mean, we've all seen the Rose skin and the new Rose 2.0 skin. I can't remember the operator name because I don't really care. Sorry. But having custom characters, or customizable skins, would be something that we could easily recreate that with. Which is something that, you know, shouldn't be allowed. And the thing that I read about the hackers making their own custom skin, granted the person, you know, used it to make their avatar bright pink, which is super visible. But I mean, from the one I read, that was like the guy's like second or third time seeing that person that day, and they got like 46 kills. First of all, if you're bright pink, like if you're hot pink, and you can somehow rack up 46 kills, there's a lot more than just the hot pink going on. Either that or you're just insanely good. My, experience is going on the former. But I feel like if Activision is taking such a stand against cheaters like they say they are, I just don't like... I just don't know why that would pass. You know what I mean? Like, if it was your second or third time, granted, this might have been the same game, but they're observing. They're observing super closely for cheaters in Warzone because they don't have an anti-cheat because it's too hard, even though games have had them since like 1995. Why was it the year I was born the first thing I thought of? I have no idea. But, like, I just feel like they're not watching it as closely as they claim to be. And this is just kind of proof. But, here we are. It is June 5th of 2021. We have 11 days left on the Battle Pass, which means the Battle Pass is going to expire on the 16th. Whether Season 4 starts on the 16th or 17th is just the best guess. It still hasn't been confirmed, but it hasn't been denied either. But we do have a couple things that might possibly be leaked. Because one of the possible leaks is based around a video. In the video, I think it's just a promo video. We hear conversations about a man in Africa who is standing by. I mean, it means that the next, like, Season 4 might have some sort of link to Africa, or like something Africa related. Who is it? Oh, Daddy. Anyway. Whether this is true or not, again, I can't confirm or deny because I'm just reading these things on the internet, and everything you say here on the internet is absolutely true. Internet says Flashbang Bros is the most popular FORE podcast ever. Well, that's gotta be true, right? Just super true. Oh, I don't know where was I at? Another thing was that there was a red door spotted in cutscenes, and also in Verdansk when playing Warzone. Call of Duty leaker Inkslasher believes that the door is a portal. In his latest video on the subject, he says the doors will be added at a later date, and they will act as portals across the map. Well, wait. Does that sound familiar? Did we talk about red portal doors in Warzone being replacing kind of the subway system last week? I think we did. I mean, they want this to be a realistic experience. But I mean, doors that teleport you around the world aren't very realistic. But at the same time, in the 80s, I doubt they had subway systems either. So it's kind of a little compromise. Why is this so loose on here? I'm gonna reel this out just a little bit so I can go back in and tighten it up. But it's glad to see that they're kind of like blurring the lines. And on that note, where was I at? sorry, I'm going fishing tomorrow, and this is bothering me because I'm like slowly double checking everything. Like I've reorganized my tackle box in my bag several times. I'm just like in my head like how much soda, how much Powerade, how much water do I put in the cooler? Because I mean, for those of you that don't know, I am in the great state of North Dakota. And right now it is 8:22 p.m. so it is dark outside probably. I don't know. I live in a basement and it is 97 degrees out. It was 102 earlier. The high for tomorrow is 81, but at the same time, when I looked on Thursday, the high for today was only like 94. So that's how that's going. So I'm just kind of figuring, like, how are we not gonna... Especially since it's my first out-of-town trip in a while. I mean, Josh and I normally just kind of go down to the river where, you know, you get a bottle of water for the dog, a couple Mountain Dews in the backpack, maybe a Powerade. I mean, you're just gonna be sitting there eating sunflower seeds for like 3-4 hours anyway. But we're going about half hour away, and even though it's half hour away, it's still like people aren't as likely to be around. Like where we go down on the river, there are people walking by. We're about 200 yards from a boat ramp. And, you know, I just kind of like, what do I put in the cooler? Do I bring snacks? Do I bring, like, something to actually eat? I have worms. Do I want to get minnows? Do I have the right lures? That's just the kind of things that have, like, flown through my head right now. So I'm kind of scatterbrained. There is something else. Now, we're going to go back to this Battle Pass screen just because... you know, we're just going to... I'm there in my notes. I'm in my notes, but I can't... I'm, like, straight up staring at it, but I can't even think of how to word it. Because people are calling for the changes for this screen. Because when you unlock the Battle Pass, that annoying... I don't want to do a tier skip for that. But most of you that have played before know, like with the Battle Pass, that when you go and actually get the reward, a little screen pops up, it goes boom, Battle Pass, blah, 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 like loud noises. And if you gain a lot of experience, or if you don't want to, like, you can hit the R button on your keyboard for the PC players to skip ahead. Which is also so you're just bagging through, and then you're out of rewards, and oh, you just... Where are you at? But you keep spamming just because you're trying to get rid of that thing, and you accidentally spend 100 COD points. And that's what people are, like, getting mad about. And I can understand that, because I almost bought a tier skip on stream twice today. So, PC players want the Warzone devs to change the menu controls, as its current design can cause players to unwillingly spend COD points and believe this is deliberate. I mean, I can see how they can believe it's deliberate. When clicking the Battle Pass tab, PC users have the option to press R to skip the Battle Pass animation, and if you want to watch/listen to the absurdly loud... and if you don't want to watch/listen to the absurdly loud sound effects as it unlocks, you're probably pressing R. This is where it gets scummy, however, because if you're impatient at all, you spam the R button like we talked about, speed up the process. But R also pulls up the skip battle task tier option and confirms it, without the screen ever telling you that the R button does that. I mean, you can see, it doesn't say anywhere on here. I just beeped. Why did I beep? Am I still getting sound? Wait, I don't care. I don't have a sound from this PC anyway. Ugh. In fact, if you hover over the option... R? Oh, okay. It says if you hover over it, it tells you space is a button that does that, but it doesn't actually say that on my end. So this is kind of why I see that people want it to change. And I kind of agree with it. I mean, you saw that I almost accidentally spent real money on this game twice. And I just don't... I like that. I don't like LMGs, but I like this. I like LMGs in Warzone, but that's not the point. That's for another episode, maybe. If you guys want to... Just what I like with Warzone episode, just by all means, let me know, and I'll probably do it. Probably. What? I mean, don't get me wrong, they've, Activision's kind of lied to us before. I mean, we're gonna get an anti-cheat. We're getting an anti-cheat. They've told us that soap was coming to the game how many times. I don't know. It just seems like they're trying to deceive us like a lot, and that's like not okay. I mean, I can't think of a world where it like would be. But I mean, it's happening, and all we gotta do is pay extra special attention when we're skipping our battle pass tiers. Or just be like me. I don't open the menu at all until I am here. I have no idea why, but on stream, on this podcast, I look at the battle pass every single week, but I never do. I mean, half of the time, I don't even have the game volume on. But half of the time, I mean most of the time. So all that loud, annoying side effects, I mean, I watch YouTube while I play. Which, I mean, let's see if I can get... Eric's? Combat record. Multiplayer. I mean, I have a pretty good win-loss ratio, and I have a good chunk of eliminations. What do I have here? 323, 404, 409. Actually, let's just go look at my COD tracker. Oofda. So, I mean, although I don't have the volume on, signing with Battle.net. I don't know why it has to be signed in every time. There we go. We're loading. Cold War. Matches. Let's check this out. This is all from the second, I believe. I mean, we got 0-0. That one, my game actually crashed, and then I had to go to work anyway. 9 and 20. I, again, just having an off morning. 2 and 12, just having an off morning. 10 minutes after. 27-15, 2012, 18-23, 31 and 13. And I don't have the game volume on, which means a lot of the times if I die, I just straight up can't hear it. I know I should at least have the volume on sometimes, but you know. So when that's happening, like those loud noises because I'm unlocking things, I'm normally just listening to something else and I'm not paying attention. I'm just waiting for the button to show up that says continue. And Warzone by itself is a pretty competitive game. I mean, we all want to get that W. You want to be the best out of the 150 people that are in there, or the 100 people that are in there, or whatever. But does Warzone have a competitive future? I mean, I feel like it potentially could. Because we have competitive games, not competitive games. We have like a competitive scene with like Fortnite, there was PUBG for a little while, and I feel like Warzone could be like that too. But there's a little bit of a difference though. Because with Warzone you have individual score, and I believe you do with the other games, but like it's calculated in a lot of different ways. Plus, with the game constantly changing as it is, I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna go. Because I mean, we've had Verdansk since Warzone came out, and it kept changing and adding and taking away and making things different, and it was just changing. Oh, now there are zombies. That's a change. Oh, now we got nuked and we're back in 1984. Subway system's not built. It's kind of like half the map that it originally was. But you know, you look at like Fortnite. I mean, they were adding things slowly and they were changing things, but for the most part, it was the same map. Then it changed, and now we get used to that map, and then we're being competitive again. With, I can see competitive Warzone being a thing. Don't get me wrong. I want that to be true, and the thing for me is you've got so many players and so many, you know, matches. How are you going to decide who is the best team? I mean, you've got the one winner and then you got second and third, but like if you're making 150 I need my calculator here. 150 divided by 4. So you got 37 teams. That's 37 different organizations that could join in this tournament. And I don't even think we have that many. But if it was like an open tournament, plus top that off with the fact that like, if that were the case, it would kind of have to be like an open tournament bracket. So like, Cloud9 or Optic could make a Warzone team, and then me and 3 of my drunk buddies can make a team. That has room for inconsistency. You got these two organizations that all they do is play this game, and I work a full-time job, my buddies work full-time jobs. Some of us have kids, some of us have other obligations. And it's just, I don't know. If they could somewhat structure it, that'd be great. I mean, even if there was like, I'm just gonna say there's 16 organizations. I don't know the exact number, obviously. But like, if each organization had 2 teams, that would be 32 teams. Whatever. If they had enough organizations that had like could have 2 teams, and then it was like, oh, okay, so you're not playing 2 teams as in like 2 teams. You're talking like this organization winning. That's something that I can kind of see. But as it sits, I'm just not sure that there's like a competitive scene for Warzone. I don't know how much longer I could talk about that, and I don't know how to end it. Oh, end it. But next thing, so I'm just gonna move on since I'm lost in thought on that. Cold War players are asking for the ability to cancel finishing moves. I mean, we got the finishing moves in Modern Warfare, and my favorite is one that I just unlocked, because you like pull up to somebody, they pull a gun on you, you're like that, and then kind of cool. It's a little extra flair. But at the same time, like, that can create some situations. I mean, I don't know about you, but there have been plenty of times where I've executed a finishing move on somebody, where, like, right after I kill the guy, one of his buddies is behind me, pointing a gun at my head, ready to... Now, if I knew he was there, I could cancel that move, pop 1 bullet, pop 2 bullets, and boom, we got a double kill. But it can't. And they're... I don't know. Maybe if they shorten the animations, or... if they shorten the animations, or like... I don't know. They don't really show a lot for melees as it is. You're just like, and that's it. I just don't see why the elaborateness is needed. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong. I just don't know why it's needed. And why you can't just stop halfway through. Because again, could have got a double kill, or in the time that it takes me to do my fancy finishing move, someone could take me out. Okay, we got our last thing that we're going to talk about tonight. Just because this one's the longest. At least the stuff that I found on it. But, you know... where is it? Where is it? Since Warzone came out, we've had these perks. I mean, they're added with your loadouts anyway. But you've got perks in your in game. And they do a little differently between multiplayer and Warzone, especially with the addition of Cold War. Since I'm gonna look at something. No, I can't. It'll take too long. I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't care. I gotta wait for it to load. So you got your perks, and with the perks, they do different things in Warzone than they do in Modern Warfare, and they do different things in Cold War than they do in Warzone if you can add Cold War perks. That guy's live. Okay. And we're loading the game. got your different perks, and in the typical Warzone loadout, there's going to feature EOD, which I want to say End of Days, but I'm not entirely sure. That was frozen. Yes! Oh. Okay. I earned Laser Silver, and I don't even know what that is. Yay! Did my game crash? Did cross-launching crash? Cross-launching crash? Cross-launching crotch? Crash? Okay. It typically features EOD or double time for perk 1, Ghost or Overkill, then Ghost picked up mid-game, and finally amped as perk 3. So there's a Reddit user that goes by the name VolForLife123. Outlined these points. Oh, it's loading on the other monitor. It's loading on the other monitor. Is this play 3? It was this play 3. Why do I have different monitors? I don't know. Don't ask. So, the Reddit user VolForLife123 has outlined these points and discussed them in a detailed post in which the game's perk meta could be adjusted accordingly. So for your blue perk, you got Quick Fix, which in addition to health regeneration immediately after killing an enemy, this should speed up the plating animation. So you should plate up faster. This partnered with Amped would be overpowered though, so this should be moved to the yellow category. I kind of get that. If Quick Fix and Amped were in the same, were in different categories, and Quick Fix sped up the animation for plating, you just played super fast, and then Amp would make it even faster. With Cold Blooded, thinks it should be changed to be undetectable by AI targeting systems, thermals, and heartbeats. Basically, Ghost shouldn't counter heartbeats in UAVs. Splitting up Ghost into 2 categories gives him freedom of movement and more of a choice between a UAV counter or heartbeat counter, which also makes people choose between Cold-Blooded and EOD. This is something I kind of get. Scavenger is always find ammo when killing players, and getting max ammo from map-based ammo resupplies. This can be a very good perk when balanced with Cold-Blooded, given some variety. I get that. It gives some variety. For the red perk, they want Hardline just straight up removed. For Ghost, they want to remove heartbeat sensor detection and move it to Cold Blood. With High Alert, in the addition to the vision pulses, counters Dead Silence, because Dead Silence has been more and more prevalent since the stopping power spawn rate, which we talked about, got nerfed. Because currently Dead Silence has no counter. Point Man doubles the spawn rate of cash drops from crates and discounts items from buy stations, which removes Hardline. He wants to keep Amped as it is, to remove Shrapnel because you can pick up 2 anyway. Oh, 2 grenades. Yeah, that makes sense. Battle Hardened, normal effect, but also removes coughing sound from gas and reduces damage taken from gas. This is something great because if you're playing with your sound on, which, by the way, I do in Warzone every single time. Don't ask why I don't do it multiplayer, because I have no idea. But if you're in the gas and you have a gas mask, I mean, you can hear a guy coughing. You could turn, you could shoot him, and you could probably get out of gas before that gas mask breaks. So getting rid of the coughing sound would be a good idea, especially if you're bad. Well, not in general, but like only if you have battle hardened. It gives you more of a use to not more of a use, more of a reason to use it. And that I could see. With Spotter, he wants it changed so the enemies using cold-blooded now show up on thermal sights and heartbeats. What did you say about cold-blooded before? Oh, okay, so cold-blooded, he wants it so that you don't show up on thermals and heartbeats unless you have the Spotter perk. If you have the Spotter perk, enemies that have cold-blooded on will still show up on your thermals and heartbeats. Or will now show up on your thermals and heartbeats. That makes a lot of sense. And he wants to keep Tracker as is. The cold-blooded change could be a standout, or would be a standout alteration, as the tried and tested process of starting with overkill and acquiring ghosts from another loadout is abused in every game. As well as Warzone's perks, another also added that they'd like to see the nerfing of things like heartbeat sensors would help a lot, and I see a lot of people stop using EOD since the C4 and the Semtex buff. Mind you, this is all just one guy wants to see changed about it, and I support these changes. I am Baby Bits, and I approve these messages. Oh, to show up. Okay. Certain things when I move them on my camera because of the background removal just don't show up. Like if I just tape everything just disappears. See? But I can see a lot of these changes being good, but straight up removing hardline would be something. I'm still doing a game session. Alright. We could be here for a while. But straight up getting rid of hardline is just, I don't know. If I'm remembering correctly, because I haven't played Warzone or Modern Warfare in a while, just straight up deleting hardline wouldn't make sense, because then you also technically have to get rid of it from Modern Warfare just for continuity's sake. But at the same time, hardline in Warzone does different stuff than hardline in Modern Warfare. So why not change hardline to something like, if you're looking through a wall, if you're looking at a wall and there's an enemy on the other side of it, it'll show some sort of indicator or something. I mean, that's literally not what I want, but it was the first thing I could think of when I thought of the words hard and line in the same sentence. But change it, and if he wants to keep Amped and Tracker as they are, but again, if you're reworking 90% of it, why not do at least a little something to change those others? Other than that, I agree with a good chunk of these changes. Not changes, proposed changes. Am I going to pull up Discord? Are we doing this? There's cringe. Yeah, why not if you're gonna change most of it, why not a complete overhaul of the system is pretty much what I'm trying to say. With that being said, I am out of notes. I am probably just going to think I'm just gonna play Adventure Quest for the rest of the night, since I've been on that. I have no idea why, but I've just been on an Adventure Quest 3D grind. I totally just spaced out. Okay, anyway, I'm out of notes. I'm super distracted, so I'm going to get off here. Feel free to follow me at all of the links that are up here and down here. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Up here and down here. There's no down here. This is just my recent donations and stuff, which I have none. Yay! But feel free to follow me there. Join the Discord, which for those of you that are in YouTube, and my Twitch will be in my channel link or channel bio. The links for that will be there. I'm sorry, I'm like really scatterbrained right now. Feel free to add me on Discord. I can send you the link that way. For those of you listening, if you look up my if you look up BetaBits on Twitch, you can find it. On Twitter, it's BetaBits, but it's with a 3 instead of an E. YouTube, it's BetaBits, and you can find it there. If not, just send me a DM on any of those, and I can just send it to you. Feel free to support the Patreon, donate, like, subscribe. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you all again next week.